presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803 471 8550 or 0803 724 9733 014 533 407.
Our 24-hour news station.
These are the girls who escaped on the day Boko Haram insurgents stormed their school in April this year. One after the other, they filed into the presidential villa for a meeting with President Jonathan. They were accompanied by some of the parents of their colleagues who have spent more than 3 months in captivity. A handful of cabinet members joined the president as well as the governors of Borno and Bauchi State. Journalists were barred from the meeting, which lasted more than 5 hours. So it was left to the presidential spokesman to give an insight into what he described as a frank session.
The president reassured them of the federal government's determination and his personal determination to ensure that the girls that are still in captivity are brought out alive. He made it clear that that is the main objective of the government. Mr. President also used the opportunity to empathize with the parents, with the girls, and to reassure them that everything will be done to make things easier for them, particularly the ones that have already escaped and the ones that will also be rescued. Mr. President assured them that their education will not in any way suffer, and that after all of this has had a happy ending, because he believes, he is convinced that evil will never prevail over good.
Some of the ministers who were in the meeting are also convinced that the Chibok girls will soon be reunited with their parents and colleagues.
To some of the girls that were able to escape from Sambisa forest, or those of them that escaped even on the first day they were abducted. And I think the parents were happy to have listened to Mr. President, assuring them of the commitment of government, assuring them of the determination of government to rescue the abducted girls, and in particular assuring those of them that are now home with their parents on the continuation of their education and continued protection of lives and properties in those communities.
Yeah, essentially, the expectation of the average Nigerian is the release of the girls. But there must be foundations for the release of these girls. While this thing cannot be done almost immediately, while efforts are being put in place, there is equally a need for Mr. President to reassure the people that are directly involved and Nigerians that government is doing everything that is necessary to release these girls. And I can assure you that from various reports that are coming in, and Mr. President knows much more than any other person knows in this country about this situation, the release of these girls will be a matter of time.
One of the governors also provided a different perspective.
What the presidency was aware of was certainly, yes, the insurgents have gone into the school, gone into the village, picked students and picked some women too. So to say that it is belated that the government didn't know about it until now, I think that is very unfair. Rushing to, rescue them might lead to, some casualties, which is why government is taking time, going solo, so that by the grace of God, we'll get all the girls in peace, not in pieces.
More than 200 people attended the meeting from Chibok, including 51 of the 57 girls who escaped from insurgents. But none of them was prepared to share details of their interaction with the president.
Safe return of the girls been abducted by Boko Haram. It's been 100 days and we're still counting. When will these girls be brought back? Welcome back to the program. I'm Sheyi Martins and Bimbo Fagade is still with me. We're discussing not only as parents, but as concerned Nigerians. 100 days gone. the Yoruba adage which says it's easier to bear knowing that the child is dead than to know that that child is missing. The thoughts, the contemplation of what may be happening to where the child is a very harrowing one, which philosophers and psychologists did agree for once that no mother is expected to go through such harrowing experience. Bimbo Fagade is still very much here in the studio, and we commiserate and empathize. 100 days gone. Hello, Mom. Nice to know you're still here.
Thank you.
100 days. We've been saying all along that the team that brought the abduction of these girls to a world enclave, that is a global village, that we cannot just keep quiet on our own, not letting everybody look for it. And you mentioned that four-letter word, help. Essentially, Nigerians seeking help through this group, Bring Back Our Girls, that he went to the White House. Even the president's wife
was holding
the hashtag Bring Back the Girls.
Yeah.
That was very touchy.
Very big.
The use of this medium to touch the hearts of everyone. How much influence has that had, even on Boko Haram?
Well, when it was still very hot then, you know, people were saying...
Because it seemed to have tailed down a bit now.
Yeah, yes, then it was burning hot, you know, and people were like, oh, are you sure these people are gonna feel what we're feeling? Do they have concerns and the person, do they have anything to bother their head about? Maybe they're just wasting, or we're just wasting our time. But I kind of feel that the number of girls today that they say or they claim they have actually left their den from these past days has probably been maybe through, I don't believe, God's intervention, because we can't rule God out of this.
No.
You know, and these children are here today with their parents, and of course they will be affected psychologically, you know, I mean,
indeed.
With all the experiences they had to go through, you know, and knowing that they can't, probably their movements are restricted. And the question I think we should also ask ourselves is, if these girls are not talking, the question is why are they not talking?
Indeed.
That's cause for concern. Is there like, if you say a word, we're going to come back for you, and, you know, why can they lead them to where? You know, they tell you stories that probably they picked from, they saw them in the village, or they saw them, you know, there was so many stories.
Well, the speculations.
So, some say the reason why it also went viral was because they wanted, the Boko Haram sects want people to know that they're actually there. So it was, like an answered prayer, yes. Now they know we're here.
Yeah,
now
all right, we're in charge.
You know, and things, and now they listen to us. Whatever we say, we give it to them and they listen to us. Well, it's still sad, you know, knowing that some are still there with them. And at this time, we can only still continue to pray with those people and still continue to use our media, you know.
To appeal to consciences.
Yes.
Indeed, because
you
know why I did ask that? Recently, the recent release of a tape by Shekau, who is a leader of Boko Haram, doing it. Bring back our girls, bring back, and calling for bring back our soldiers. That is an open, outright negotiation.
That's what he's saying, yeah.
Saying, you give me back our soldiers, I'll give you back your girls. Is that something the government should consider? Do you think? As a mother, we're not talking as a journalist now. Should the government consider the release of these terrorists, at least for Shekau, and all of their internal plans, as it were, continues as it were? But give some and take some.
Okay. Maybe if I have to talk from the angle of, have actually had the opportunity to probably watch some movies or read some books that make me, that's made me understand that you don't give in to some negotiation terms. Because the question is, how far, how true is this other party saying, I'm going to release these people to you when you give me my terms? I kind of feel, I still strongly believe that yes, it is still all about negotiation. Yes, but must it be tied to something? Must it be tied to, let's have the soldiers do what? There's so many things.
These are criminals.
Yes.
First and foremost, they're criminals.
Yes, there's so many things they've done in this past years, and the country is yet to recover.
Indeed.
Which has to do with a whole lot of lives that's been lost. People who wake up in the morning, they want to go to their different businesses. They got blown away by bombs, you know, and mortar packs. They can only trace them back to these people. We are saying, and of course, there have been so many stories too, that some know how to get across to them, that some know how to negotiate with them. We're saying, why don't you take those tolls? Why are we asking for $1 billion loan to buy ammunition and do what? At this point, I don't think we need that.
Oh, you mean the money issue, the $1 billion, really?
Yeah. I don't think we need it now.
Indeed, it really bothers me. I'm reading a book, one of those very old books on my bookshelf recently, and I recall what the CID in 1950s did, looking for ammunitions here and there, particularly when Chief Obafemi Awolowo was being accused of trying to overthrow the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the time. This was way back in 1963. And seriously, they didn't need serious equipment to tackle that. It was all part of infiltration into the Action Congress, or Action Group at the time, and people gave information. Why don't we have some tactical, particularly in these days where it's much easier? But $1 billion is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money. We heard Russia was trying to buy two helicopter carriers for military personnel from France, 1.2 billion euros. And we want to fight insurgency?
That's not the best way to fight it.
It's just a question. I'm not maligning.
Of course. I'm also trying to, you know, go with the flow. That, at this point, we have greater things to bother about. But the question is, why are we not talking?
Why are we not talking?
Some people can't stand up to the truth. And that's why when for instance, I read the story from Obi Ezekwesili, you know, because
let me hold you there a moment, because people are talking. Now from Kano on our Facebook, if you are a parent, this is from Aguleri Awa from Kano. If you are a parent, you will truly appreciate the gravity of the psychological blow these abduction is to the girls and their parents. If you are a true Nigerian, you will risk your life and your all to get them out of captivity. But we are a people who will thank God for our good lot when we see the misfortune of others. We don't believe in collective humanity again. As long as we are okay, all else can go to blazes. That's Aguleri Awa from Kano.
You know, I kind of
apathy.
You know, I kind of go with what Awa just said right now, because the truth of the whole thing is everybody's all about me. You don't care about what happens to the other person anymore. And that's why when you're fine and everything's okay with your household, I don't care what happens to my neighbor.
So it's happening in Borno. That's far from Lagos.
You know, that's far. You know, even if it's your next door neighbor, as long as it doesn't get anything past your fence, you're fine. You know, but that's sad. Where is the love we preach?
Aha.
There's no love anymore. Brothers killing brothers, you know, children killing fathers, you know, and you're stealing children from your neighbors, using them for whatever ritual, you know, and you're happy you're spending that kind of money. You're making a whole lot of people sad. And another question for me again is this Boko Haram sets. How do they feed? How do they get their finances? How do they get wire transfers to buy the things they use if no one's actually sponsoring them, if no one actually knows about? You know, it's actually cause for concern because really there is a deeper issue than what we can see on the surface.
There is a deeper,
you know,
evil.
Evil. Okay,
yes,
okay.
a deeper evil. I mean, pervading the actions of Boko.
You know.
And since you're talking, please keep talking to us on our Facebook. We recognize and we know that your contribution is very important in this matter. We cannot do it alone. But that issue of our security, it doesn't concern me. You know, I have my own mergadi. I provide my own water. I provide my own. So that's their problem. Also from Abia. Oh, sorry. Did I miss that? Okay, okay. Well, the situation is, we remember that one time in this country, you cannot go far in your street and somebody doesn't call you to order if you're misbehaving. Let's go back to Facebook. Bishop Njoko from Abia. Imagine 100 days without your father and mother as a teenager. 100 days without the familiarity of your own home. And 100 days of uncertainty over your future. Hope is lost. Joy is gone. You live under extreme psychological strain and feel a continuous perpetual fear in your soul. Your captors told you your parents and your government doesn't care. They give you a bomb to kill their representatives. I guarantee that you will do so. Very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad indeed. When Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was saying that some of these girls, we shouldn't really expect them. That's coming from a general. I want to believe, as a parent, which is what Bishop Njoko is saying, I want to believe, well, these girls would have been indoctrinated that much that they would be part of what we didn't know them as when we eventually get them back? Could they have been infracted into such that they can come out even more evil than we expect? Should we think along those lines, or we just believe in the miracles?
At this point, I kind of believe, you know, I want to believe in miracles, really. Was it Abraham Lincoln that said, don't think of what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country? You know.
That's JFK.
JFK, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and
1962.
You know, for me, ever since I came across that word, I took it upon myself to strive harder at what I know how to do best. And also inculcate the same thing into the people around me. Because if you keep looking up to the people at the top to help you, well, you might just stay there for as long as...
Help cometh from the top.
You know.
Oh, not
but
at
whatever
all.
we know how to do best, let's put in all our best. So what I'm saying, in other words, is if we're waiting for a government to come in and tackle this menace, he might not be able to do it alone. But we have one tool, which is the social media. That's what technology has brought to us right now.
Indeed.
We have to use it to our advantage.
Effectively.
Effectively. We have to keep saying it, keep tweeting it. In fact, permit me to use the word, keep Facebooking it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
keep Facebook.
You know, you know, and you know, the more it goes out there, I believe the more it touches the conscience, the more it appeals to those people like, when are they ever going to get quiet about this?
I don't know. Yes, it's important because I was watching OBS Equesili yesterday on Hard
I talk BBC, yeah.
And she said the reason why they kept it going was because they believe it's only the government that can do it. Let's take this from Abuja. Ejikeme Sam, if it is the same girls that were paraded on YouTube, are the same ones that are marking 100 days in confinement, they definitely will not come back in one piece. The president should be thinking of sending midwives and maternity nurses rather than soldiers to Sambisa Forest. Oh goodness, that's another dimension that's very worrisome. Yes. Ejikeme Sam is saying that if it's the same girls that were paraded, these girls must have been horrendously abused. Let's keep it mildly. Let's keep it mildly. This early morning television.
Okay, maybe everybody should try something at home.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Maybe you should have yourself locked in. Now you're not holding the key. Let someone lock you behind the door.
Okay.
Now you don't have any attachments with whoever you're close to in the house. You're there maybe for like 3 days. Nobody's talking to you. Obviously, you have so many things going through your mind. It gets to a point you're like, oh my God, am I gonna die in this four worlds? Like, I need to be out of this place. And
Indeed.
Nobody's breaking, nobody's actually giving you...
Nobody's knocking there.
And allowing you to step out. It does a lot to the emotional mind. There's this thing they call emotional count. It has to do with you, with the number of times of what you deposit in people and what you withdraw. So sometimes what you deposit is like you're going to the bank. The more deposits you have, the more happy you are.
You tend to get.
For me, they must have all gone through their emotional withdrawal period. At this point, they don't know.
It's emotional bankruptcy.
Yes. They have to really see a psychiatrist, who can actually help them out of the ordeals they pass through. They can never be the same girls anymore. Some people might be more outspoken. Some might just want to pour it all down. Why some might just want to keep it to themselves and just keep hoping that this will pass.
There will be a light in the tunnel. One of these days. We once had a professor of philosophy here, Professor Sophie Oluwole, who says, you cannot imagine what they are imagining because you are not in that position.
Very true.
She did assert that these girls, been gone for 100 days now, in her estimation at that time, they're certainly not going to come back the same.
Absolutely not.
So if Boko Haram is saying to them, your parents don't love you, your government don't love you, we are the one that can take care of you, what do we think of such imbued? Let's take this Facebook one. This from Emeka Aberare from Kaduna. The only people to legally profit from this Boko Haram abduction issue are the consultants to the president on publicity and media. Help me. They will keep feeding off this issue and will pray that it will dog President Jonathan until he declares for second term so that they can quote his need to be rebranded as a justification for their fat paychecks. Nigeria needs those who want to help her with dedication and faithfulness, not self-serving pretenders. That's from Emeka in Kaduna. People are profiting from the abducted girls.
Yes. Yes. I mean, when it really, happened then, I think some women were actually arrested. You're making money off other people's sorrow. It's sad.
Here was a situation, I was talking about Obi Ezekwesili on Hard Talk, where she says, that is why we say bring back our girls. And we're putting it in the face of the government all the time. It's not like we're accusing government of not doing anything. We're accusing government of waiting for God or waiting for a gun. The situation is, it is only government that can do it. And she says she believes in miracle. And that's bothered me. That what miracle from evil or from what? I don't want to be, I don't want to go the path of religiosity here, but the reality is, I believe in miracle, yet I believe the government can do miracles. Well, what miracles are we expecting the government to do? Now we've been given a situation, somebody just, not tweet, or faced us with a situation that these girls, we better send midwives and all this. That is horrifying. What else can we do if we don't have to wait for miracles and government? What else is there? We've been saying everything. This is the holy month of Ramadan, the most sublime and serious, prayerful month to every Islamic person. And yet, Boko is not backing down. Aren't we dealing with serious evil in our hands?
We are.
Yeesh.
We are. You know, and it's actually come to like I said the other time too, that I believe in miracles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what she said really is, if we all pray.
Let me hold you there one moment. Osadebe Osahon from Jos. When shall we overcome? When shall we say Uhuru? When will Nigeria rise above the fray? When will our tears be dried? 100 days in captivity without a headway. A term in school is over already. WAEC, NECO, UTME, and other examinations have been written. Nigerian government keeps saving face with words. A house built with saliva is at the mercy of the dew. What a prose. From Osadebe in Jos.
Right.
I remember the writer and poet, Dennis Osadebe, also a politician.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, Osadebe in Jos, they're writing, giving us that beautiful prose of capturing the situation of things. 100 days gone, and we're still words and talking.
And still talking, and we're yet to see results. You know, even there was this past program with aid, and we had to do carry a survey out, you know, in schools and find out what this student thing are the problem. I mean, we're facing in the country.
Yeah.
They can only say one word: our leadership is bad. So if the undergraduates they are saying we have a bad leadership, that calls for concern, because it simply means they're all saying. They all know what is wrong, and they all know that, if we are to say we want to put so many things, you know, avoid corruption, you know, grow a better structure, grow a better government, then we need to put our leadership right. So we're saying the people are the top in one way, you know, like Bishop Njoku just said.
Yes.
So are we saying that these people at the top there have a way of, you know, they're not running it the way they should run the government?
It's good to relate to some of these things sometimes. I remember from Bishop Njoku's comments there, I remember reading about the last days of Kwame Nkrumah, where he used to ask people around him, what do they think of me out there? What are the people, what are Ghanaians thinking? And they said, Osejefo, everybody is rooting for you. You're the best. You're the only one Africa has ever provided. And the man thought he was doing good when ordinary Ghanaians were finding it difficult to eat 3 square meals. Until such time that he was overthrown a few weeks later. And that writer, who used to be a secretary to Osajefo, said he lost it because he was not listening to the people. And the people around him kept feeding him with what he needed to know. Is that our circumstance? Don't answer. Let's go to another situation. Facebook, Korede Ajala from Ibadan is writing, observe the precision of the impeachment of Nyako, the speed of the case against Al-Makura, and the unfolding strategy deployed by the PDP to weaken the opposition. Look at the timing and the bold strokes and tell me that this government does not know how to fight dirty and ensure victory. If the same dedication is given to fight against insurgency, we would have won. But in their scale of preference, the 2015 election is number one. The welfare Nigerian is of no consequence. That's from Korede in Ibadan.
Word spoken.
Word spoken. You were saying you had this survey.
You know, and you know,
and young people said there's a problem of governance.
Yes, you know, and a cause for concern, because if as young as this, let me even take you back briefly. Like my son, for instance, doesn't have any faith in the country. There's so many times I tell, you know, the country is, like, Mom, do you know what it's like, what we're seeing right now on TV? Mm-hmm. You know, are we saying if I have a project and I want to do with my government supports me? When you can see young children of about 15 getting support, or 18 abroad getting support, you know, to getting support like loans to build their projects.
Indeed.
And, you know, and become famous. Do I have a government that can do that for me here in this country? I had to sit down and rethink it. You know, so we're just saying they don't know or they don't see. But really, they do see. Nigerians are talking, but is our government listening? The question is no.
Let's go again to Facebook. Okocha Uche from Enugu. The umbrella and broom power seekers of the PDP and APC in Nigeria are more interested in how to win 2015 election at the expense of agonizing masses, trading war words and game blaming. What shall we do to Nigeria? The vultures are waiting to butcher our dear country and gain the spoils of war. Innocent civilians are in churches and mosques, indulging in the opium of the masses.
So fortunate.
Okocha from Enugu there. Now, let's get back to this survey and these young people. We've been told assertively that in the register, in INEC register, we have over 70% eligible young people to vote. Can you imagine 70% of young Nigerians going to vote for one person? You don't need to campaign.
You don't need to.
70%.
You have the whole population.
You have, help me. I mean, some of us as old as we are, I have never succeeded in voting because I'm always doing this or that, except while away from here. Another one from here in Ikeja, rather, Sholakwe Obe. How can we safely proclaim that this nation is sincerely fighting corruption? Politicians are talkatives, but for the sake of integrity, they also try to set an objective and deliver such on time so as to gain the approval of the people. In saner climes, results determine if you will get the ticket for another term. But in Nigeria, you don't need to do anything but intimidate the people. You will give yourself the ticket and vote yourself in for a second term. Sholakwe Ube from Ikeja.
Oh my God.
Yeah. With 70%. And these young people acknowledges it. But my problem is, who is talking to them? Who is bringing these young people closer to say that, look, you can make the change if need be?
Absolutely.
But they're so disenchanted, they don't even want to vote. Help me.
You know, when Obama then was rated as, you know, when he was given the presidency of the United States then, I could only think of one thing. That this guy he understood what was out there. He watched everything they were doing. He knew where he could come in, and he wrote a speech around that. And that was a speech of time. I mean,
indeed.
You know that separated him from the other.
Everyone else.
Yes. Now I'm saying, like you said now, that who are talking to these young people? we can only as parents talk to children at home. You know, tell them what we believe, that also this is your country, you can run anywhere. We all have to come together and make sure that this works, with or without the government.
Indeed.
You know, but it also depends on how much you also believe in your country. Because when they're looking at you, they want to say, oh, really? Are you sure you're not talking about?
Yep.
You know, but what we're saying today is most Nigerians have actually thrown the towel and they're saying, you know what, let's go for summer, let's just relocate. There's nothing good that's going to happen to this country, you know.
Oh.
But there's a lot, we have a lot here, and that's why we have investors thinking of coming to the country.
Each time you get off the plane, you know the number of colored faces aside from yours that you see. Let's take another Facebook from Wiseman Onilogba from Aba. I remember the last day of a president of the USA in the White House after the Watergate. He said, not until you get to the top of a mountain and look down, then you would realize how deep the valley is. The president will have to shoulder the blame for being so unlucky that he was the one in power when all these issues boomeranged. He's a victim, but a powerful victim is not a logical argument. Nigerians believe a president cannot be overwhelmed. They're wrong.
So wrong. So wrong.
So the president has been overwhelmed.
So
That's
wrong.
what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
That's what the young people are thinking. Which is why they think our president is not doing enough.
You know, like you quoted the last one that happened to this Ghanaian president.
Yes,
you know,
Kwame Nkrumah.
It still has to do with the people surrounding such people.
The people surrounding the president.
You know.
Okay.
You know, they only tell them what they want to hear. They have a lot on their minds, yes. I'm referring to the presidents right now. They have a lot on their mind, yes. But they also, that's why they have to have the right kind of people to help them look into some situations. They all have their primary objective of why they're in the office.
Yeah.
And which is what they're trying to drive at, which is their goal. But right now we're saying, sir, we have things that are much more, that are affecting the masses than the people who are comfortable there. There's some people who are actually comfortable, they don't need to think about anything. Their children are probably not in the school. They have the best luxurious cars, you know, they live in, you know, beautiful houses abroad and all that. Their accounts are fat. So they don't, you know, so they don't worry.
They don't worry.
They don't worry. As far as the president's paying me, I think I'm fine. You know, but all hands are not going to be pointed to those people because we don't know them.
Not indeed. The buck stops at his desk, you know, Mr. President.
Mr. President, what are you doing to your country? And that is why I'll say, to me, we as parents, we as Nigerians, should continue to tell ourselves that we can do this, we can make the change happen with whatever we have.
Which is a vote, ultimately.
Ultimately. You know, and we all know what, right now everybody's saying everything that's happening, you know, we all know, okay, why do I want to go here? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to vote for this person? You know, and the truth of the whole thing is Nigerians have actually lost hope in vote as well.
Well, so that it doesn't turn that way, we keep looking at Chibok girls in Boko Haram's den. 100 days gone and still counting. We're putting the blame on the president. Should we? Should we not? Well, what do you think? What are you thinking? The president met with parents of the Chibok girls yesterday and empathized with them and gave them hope that certainly there will be a safe delivery of these girls back to them. The army will not want to do what it knows best. The rules of engagement with respect to Boko Haram with over 200 girls as should. How do we encounter that? What are we thinking? Should it be military solution or should we negotiate? Chibok girls in Boko Haram den has gone long enough. Something has to give. Maybe you should believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. I hope Nigeria believes in miracles. We want to say a big thank you to you for being here, Bimbo Fagade.
Thank you, Shay.
Assisting us. And we just keep hope alive, would we not? Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
We thank you too for your comments on Facebook, Twitter, and you can watch us as well on YouTube. I am Shay Martins. Core Digest will be back again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Have a wonderful day today.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station. Core TV.